God knows that. God sees that. But that is against His law, and He's going to change it. But what you have to still keep saying, whatever is going to happen, it's going to take place. It's going to be a natural. We will not see God coming down doing it. It will be a natural. He'll let people hang themselves. But He says, tell those in this little gathering this morning that it will be well with them, for they will enjoy the fruit of their labor. And that's exactly the way it's going to be. You are going to have it good. It will feel bad. God told me to begin getting these big box buildings and sealing them up. Told me to begin buying these properties and preparing them and hold them for the believers. So consequently, fortunately, whatever word we want to use, Verna had enough good sense in her with me to not allow this ministry to be incorporated.
Thank you.
To not allow ourselves to go get a 501c3. Because then you have to do what the state tells you to do. As it is, if a gay comes and they want to rent one of our houses that we own, and we don't feel like that's the thing to do, we can turn them down. And they cannot do a thing to us because we don't belong to the state. We are not under state constitution. We are a free entity out there. Okay. If I disagree with a politician, I can say it publicly. And they can't sue me and they can't put me in jail because we do not submit to the rules of the state. Now that doesn't mean we shouldn't obey the speed laws, and we should follow all of those things that are good for us. We must follow them. But when it comes down to the other part, we are not to follow them. But that's a report of the CIA. I read another story recently about this is, what's the man's name? Down at Morning Star.
Oh.
What was his name?
I know his name.
Yeah, what's the brother at Morning Star?
Rick
Joyner. Rick Joyner. When Katrina hit, down in the south, down in Louisiana area, Mississippi, when it hit, take it easy, don't go fast. When it hit, they sent all kind of people down to help the people out. And he said, we just did everything for them. And he said, we watched, and the people willingly let us. And we did things for them they could have done for themselves. And we began to realize we're doing these people wrong.
Right.
He also said they sent some teams over to Africa to dig some wells. And the people let them, and they spent $10 million building these wells. And if came up one piece missing or something wrong, they just let it go. Nobody's bothered to fix anything.
Yes, that's what I had heard from some missionaries who went over in Africa, and they shared. They said it's wonderful to think that you're going to help third world people and things like that, but the people just lay there and they just sit there, and you're not really asking them to do anything. You're saying, move out of the way, we're going to do this for you. And they said, don't you realize that you're making them cripples?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah, you're not, it's like, say, you're giving them a fish, but you're not teaching them how to fish. They've got, the land is so wealthy, it has all kind of natural resources and everything. De Beers wants to go over there and get their diamonds. The different oil companies want to go over there and get the oil. The land is really rich, but you're working the people. That's why I say that definition of work must be explained. You're working them in the mines so De Beers can get rich. You're putting them on trains, you're doing things to put them under the authority of all of these different people that are raping their land. That's not work. That's slavery.
That's slavery.
So you have to define work.
That's slavery. Well, he said they saw what they were doing, so they contacted a tribe and says, you dig the well, we'll send the pipes, we'll send the equipment, we'll send everything over there that's required to set it up. He said they got over there and they had the equipment, and there was no well dug, no holes dug. He said, where's the hole? Where are we gonna do it? They said, well, it's always been done for us. We knew you guys would do it. So he said, we just got our stuff, packed it up, and went out of town. He said, we got word they had dug the hole. We went back and found it dug, and we finished the well. But anytime, it's so vitally important to know that God created us. He created our world for us to participate in it.
Yeah.
And everybody in this group here, you do that. You're not, there's no loafers in here. I know better than that. But I just want you to know what is going on in our world. And then, not just our world, but our community. We were over at 14th and Davison yesterday. You guys were at the other station.
In my brother's.
And you see the people lining up for food. And they'll come around and they'll want to talk to you, but they want to know what you've got. They want to know what you're giving, what you're doing, how much you're giving away. And if you don't give them anything, most of the time, many of them will just walk away. They live this way. I talked to a man yesterday, and I said, what can we pray for you about? He says, you can pray that I need a house. I said, where do you have a place now? I'm in a room, but I need a house. I said, do you have a family? Yes. I said, well, they aren't living in the room with you, are they? He says, no, I need a house. I said, well, are you working? He says, no. I said, why aren't you working? He says, I'm disabled. I said, I'm so sorry. What is wrong? I was going to pray for him. He said, it's depression. I mean, it kind of floored me. How do I pray for somebody to be healed? I mean, I know how to pray about depression, but it just hit me all of a sudden. This man is holding on to this because he gets substance and he wants everything to come to him, but he's unwilling to do anything but go around to these different places where they give you stuff. And I don't know, I felt almost hopeless talking to him. And of course I rebuked and I cursed the depression, but I felt like he didn't want it to go.
Exactly. Pastor, people do not want to let go of the government money.
Security blanket.
And even Christians that say that they're disabled, and they don't want the healing, because if they get the healing, they can't get the Social Security.
And then they have to go to work.
Then they have to go to work.
You see, when you take work away from a person, you are disabling them. Yes, Kay?
So I said, there was this man when I had my stroke. So I used to walk Belay every day after I feel good. He had a stroke too, but he had his hand like that. And he would be in the corner up there. And I said, you know what? You could get rid of this if you exercise it. I said, you could go walk. I said, it's in your mind. He said, that's my check.
Yeah, they don't.
That's my check. Yeah.
I said to myself, I don't even want a check. Because when I had medicine,
I think about that. I'm sorry. I think about the man you prayed for at Brother's Keeper, the deaf one.
That is his check.
I don't think he wants that healing.
He's still like that.
I really, I don't know why I feel it. And I mean, you prayed and you asked, you were praying healing for him. But I think that, and I'm sure he's getting that government check.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I don't think he wants that healing.
Depression is a thought.
Wow.
You lead yourself into a depression by how you think.
Yes.
And it was asked of Vernon myself by the manager at TCT. He said, what do you do when you start being depressed? We just looked at each other. I said, I don't know what that means for sure. I will not be depressed. I have a control. My thoughts prevent that. My thoughts lead me into it, or it takes me away from it. As a man thinks in his heart, that's what he is like. And it's easy to have somebody done me wrong songs. Oh, what a fool I am, or what an idiot I am, we can say, when we make a mistake instead of forgiving ourselves and moving forward.
They hold on to it.
Tell the righteous it will be well with them. I want you to feel very encouraged. And I understand your statement, Leslie. How do we feel good about watching our neighbor have trouble? What do you think? You know, think about the children of Israel. There were 20,000 of them, as I recall the number, that were being disobedient. And God had Moses to separate them. And he opened the ground and swallowed all 20,000 of them up in the view of everybody else.
The sons of Korah.
Yeah. How, you know, they had to handle that. They had to watch that and see 20,000 of their people go down in a hole that didn't exist and close up on them.
Their relatives.
Yeah, they had to see that. You know, we have to understand that we all have feelings. We're sensitive. All of us are very sensitive people. I feel for everything. There's a thing I probably shouldn't tell you, but God has put this on me. I didn't realize it was on me alone. But anytime I see anybody hurt, or they tell me about a hurt. Becky was telling me about her toe yesterday, and it just hurt me. But it hurts me in my groin area. I squeeze and it hurts. And when you tell me something, I go, it's not that I'm feeling that much bad for you. I'm hurting.
I'm feeling your pain.
And I thought all men felt that way. That was part of being a male. I was going around asking men finally, I never heard of that. God just stuck it on me. I hurt for anybody that hurts. I mean, I don't care. I care. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you are a drunk, you just shot 10 people and you stump your toe, I'm going to hurt. We can't get beyond the sensitivity of feeling, and God knows I can't. I have no control whatsoever. So we will feel for others, but know that we doing what we can do, and that's kind of what we're all about. That's why we went downtown 2 weeks ago today. That's why we're going to these other places. That's why we're going to push forward. And I was praying yesterday, God, give us additional vision that we'll know the next step. I am not going to take a step that God doesn't tell me to take because I'm impatient.
Right.
I said, God, help me to be patient. If you're telling me, as he did the other day, you enjoy this little bit of a break you've got because it's coming down now. You're not going to be able to do this long. And I said, but God, I don't like having a break. I want to keep driving. That's who I am. I've got a force of drive inside of me. He said, just enjoy it because it's not going to last long. It's all going to come down. So be patient. And thank you again for watching. I hope this was not too scattered. God bless you. Thank you.